Today, we are talking about cooking mistakes that I have learned over the year. Number one,
Wait, cooking mistakes or
I
saving
mean,
money?
well, on all of it. Wait, what's the title of the show today? I've got down 10 things I wish I'd known sooner about saving money on groceries.
Yep, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Number one, I am not Martha Stewart at all. Okay? So, stop watching the cooking shows. Stop watching Gordon Ramsay, Martha, Rachel Ray. I don't even know who the cooking people are right now. But just stop watching them and expect to recreate what they're making. If what they are making is expensive, ingredients you don't normally eat, stop looking at these recipes and thinking that you need to do these things. You don't. I'm not saying that their recipes are bad at all. You can use them if you want. But you are not striving to be Martha Stewart. She has a whole team of people buying her groceries, doing all the prep work, setting everything up, cleaning everything up. And Martha is there for half an hour, shooting the cooking part of it, and then she's done. So don't get frustrated when you can't do a recipe or it's too difficult. The next thing is quick is okay. On my other channel, Super Easy Recipes, a lot of my recipes are 2, 3, 4, some are 5 ingredients, but they're quick, they're easy, and they get in and out of the kitchen. Our Dining on a Dime cookbooks, they're on sale right now. The main thing that I had when I was writing this was it has to be easy and fast, because I didn't have time, because I have chronic fatigue syndrome with fibromyalgia, or energy to be in the kitchen all night long cooking. I don't spend an hour cooking dinner. I spend 15 to 20 minutes. And honestly, most nights I spend 5 minutes cooking dinner. I really do. Because what I will do is throw a great big 3 to 5 pound chunk of chicken breasts in the crock pot, let it simmer all day. The first night we will have barbecue chicken sandwiches. The next night we'll have chicken tacos. We'll have chicken enchiladas. We'll have chicken and noodle soup. We'll have chicken and rice. We'll have chicken pot pie, stir fry. All of those are recipes that I use from that one thing of chicken breast. I don't make all those. Usually I make 5 to 7 meals out of those, feeding 4 to 6 people. But those are the things that I make with it. And once your meat is cooked, you can just throw all the rest of the stuff in there. And it's done in 5-10 minutes. It really doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out process to cook. The other thing is, if you just have to eat a bowl of cereal to keep you from going out to eat, just eat a bowl of cereal, eat a bowl of oatmeal, cream of wheat, make some pancakes with pancake mix if you need to.
Pancake mix.
I know. Now, we have a really good baking mix in Dining on a Dime Volume 1 with all of the recipes. There's 7 or 8 recipes to use the baking mix for pancakes, waffles, muffins, all that kind of thing. livingonadime.com, you can get the recipe. Just type in baking mix. But it's okay to have really easy dinners like that. The next thing is convenience foods are okay. Everyone thinks that just because you're a stay-at-home mom, you have to cook everything, you have to grow everything from scratch and cook everything from scratch and can everything from scratch. That's absolutely ridiculous. You can have tater tots, frozen vegetables, frozen berries. You can have chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, French fries, all of those convenience types foods, if it will keep you from going out to eat. I'd rather have you buy those than go out to eat. So stop feeling guilty about using convenience foods. I don't know why people think, well, yeah, I do know why. They listen to the internet. Stop listening to the internet. it's getting to the point now where you literally can't eat anything. The only thing safe to eat now is ice.
What about all the chemicals in the pancake mix or the preservatives in the frozen chicken nuggets?
We can't even eat ice because you'd probably break a tooth.
Well, the reason I mentioned those
It's
things
ridiculous.
is because people bring those things up, and if you look at it, it's not actually true. Like, the baking mix is basically what you would put in the baking mix at home. The chicken nuggets are frozen because they don't have the preservatives. So, like, don't believe it just because people say something.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The stuff that is going around on Facebook about chemicals. This chemical is going to kill you. That chemical is going to kill you. This food is going to kill you. That food is going to kill you. This whatever is going to kill you. That's going to kill you. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And those things are just meant to scare you. And so if you're trying to do something and you're trying to like make quick dinners and not be stressed out all the time, thinking about all those things that you're hearing on the internet is stressing you out because now you're afraid to make a decision, like the flat squirrel on the road.
Yeah.
And the reality is,
don't be the flat squirrel in the road. Make a decision.
But also don't listen. Just don't listen to all the hoo-ha. I mean, these days, the majority of stuff that you hear on the media about all kinds of scary things is not true. And when I say the media, I don't mean just the legacy media. I mean also a lot of social media. It doesn't take anything to go on YouTube and just start saying things about disasters that are out there.
Well, like yesterday's show, during the show, everybody was asking me, Tara, what about Walmart pulling all the stuff off the shelves?
Did you look into it?
I went and actually looked into it. There's one person that I could find. Maybe there's more, but there's one person that I could find that said her daughter went to Walmart and they were pulling all the meat and pulling all the dairy. Oh, what's happening? Well, maybe there was a recall. I don't know, but every other person that I've talked to, Walmart has plenty of food. It's just fine. But people are believing all these things without even researching it.
Actually, one thing you can do that'll help you on the groceries and everything else related to your finances is if you hear something scary on the internet or TV, don't believe it until you actually look into it and find out if it's true. And if you don't have time to look into it, then just don't believe it.
Yeah.
That would save you tons of money, tons of anxiety, frustration, because most of it is either not true or somebody took an element that's true and then they built a big scary story on it.
Yeah.
So,
and like Kimberly says in one of your other videos, you said about your grandmother who just turned 97 this weekend. And she ate store-bought bread. People carry on too much about preservatives and all that stuff. Yes. Do you know how fast food used to spoil? And people say, well, your grandma hasn't been eating all the stuff with the preservatives and all that stuff. She has been for the last 25, 30 years.
Well, she ate vegetables out of cans that had been sealed with lead for decades.
So.
And she's 97. Not that you shouldn't be eating out of cans with lead, but what I'm saying is some of the things when people just worry about everything, like she didn't know and she's 97. So a lot of those things are like people have asked us a lot of times, do you rinse your rice because of the arsenic in rice? And one time we looked around online and there were a lot of statements about the danger of arsenic in rice. And it was saying, it's unclear, but it appears that there may be a 1 in 100,000 chance that you might die from something because of arsenic in rice. Well, that's a 1 in 100,000 chance. That's almost non-existent. I mean, something's going to kill you before that does. And so when people talk about those things, they sound scary.
Your chances of dying in a car crash are 1 in 95, but people are still driving all over the place.
So don't listen to the scary things because the scary things are going to cost you money and they're going to make you worried all the time about things that mean really nothing. I mean, I also think about people that they're intensely worried all the time about GMOs in their food and organic food and everything else. And so they're watching what they eat to eat just the right stuff, but they're 400 pounds. Well, there's a much higher health risk to being very overweight than there is to GMOs in your food. So if you're overweight and you're worried about GMOs, you should just forget about GMOs and just think, can I eat a little bit less?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is paper plates are okay. I would rather have you use paper plates than go out to eat. Use paper plates. It is okay. If you feel that bad about it, get the ones that don't have any coatings or anything on them, and you can put them in the compost. But the 5 cents or 20 cents you're going to spend on paper plates is way better than the $40, $50, $60 you're going to spend at the drive-thru. So if you're just that tired that you can't do anything, use things like paper plates. And like napkins. I use napkins for a lot of my food. So like if I'm just eating an apple with peanut butter, I'll just put that on a napkin. Or a sandwich, I'll just put it on a napkin. Or chips, I'll put it on a napkin. Whatever. If it's not greasy or dripping or anything like that, I'll just use a napkin or really crumbly or something. The next thing is to save money on groceries, you do not have to garden. And to go along with that, you do not have to can. It's absolutely crazy that people think that you're going to be saving money on gardening and canning. You're really not. If you're like me and you happen to like gardening, and that's your preferred hobby during the summer, then by all means, go ahead and garden and grow whatever you want. I grow a lot of stuff, and 95% of it I give away because I'm not going to can. I just am not going to do it. If the fecal matter hits the oscillation unit and I have to can, then I will. But unless I have to, I'm not going to do it. My great-grandma was a big gardener too. And that's where I got the gardening gene, I think. And so she had the most beautiful garden, peach trees. But she told me one day, she said, when we moved from out in the ranch, they lived on a ranch in southeastern Colorado. You talk about desert, southeastern Colorado. I mean, they had to haul water a mile in a wagon each way. Now, it wasn't uphill. It's as flat as a pancake out there. But
for themselves and all the farm
all
hands.
the animals, all their garden, everything. They had to haul water for it all until they could get a well put in. And she said, I was never so excited as when I could stop canning and just go to the grocery store and buy my food. Now, she did can peaches because she had some really tasty peach trees. But she said, I've never been so excited as when I didn't have to garden anymore and didn't have to can for my survival. This is a lady who almost starved to death one winter when she was about 6 or 7 years old. And remembers her dad going out on snowshoes with 3 feet of snow. That's not the drifts. That's just how much snow was on the ground. And he went out on snowshoes in the middle of winter to go 50 miles to try to get them some food. And 3 weeks later, they ate their last meal and thought, that's it, we're going to die. He died along the way. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for people hollering about how expensive food prices are and all that kind of thing. Believe me, we have it way better off, even with the expensive prices that they are now, which they're not at the moment. But yes, groceries have gone up, but it is not, it's not to the point where it's hard to afford food in America yet. We're not even close to that point yet. There are places in the world where they literally have to work all day long just to pay for your food. Do you work all day long just to pay for your food? No. So, yeah. The other thing is when you are offered free food, take it all, and if you can't use it, pass it forward. Pass it on, whatever. whenever I'm offered anything, I will take all of it. And then if I can't use something or don't think we'll use something or don't like something, then I'll start passing it around to friends and family and see if someone else wants it. But I accept everything. And the reason why is because when you tell people no, then they don't keep offering you stuff later. And 90% of the stuff I've gotten, I've been able to do that. So that's why I accept everything that I can. All right, guys, our Living on a Dime Mother's Day sale is happening now. Volume 1 and Volume 2, if you buy the set, it's 50% off. Or if you buy the 3-book set and get our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, it's 50%. Or it is 40% off the individual books. Start with this one right here. If you can just afford one, it is 40% off the individual books and our price book.
I realize we're almost out of price books.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want a price book, this is how to keep track of prices in the grocery store. You put the store up here, and then I just write in pencil the number, the amount of, like say bacon. It was on sale for $2.49, so I put it in there. This $2.99 is my stock up price here in Wyoming, where we do not have good grocery prices. And so if it's better than $2.99, I'm going to stock up. That means I fill my freezer. Beef roast, $2.99 is my stock up price. Although I will be honest, I think that might be going up now. I haven't found that price for about 2 months now. So that may be going up. All right, comments and questions, please send them to me. While Mike is getting that sent to me, I just want to thank Linda.
What?
She sent me this. Is this not the most darn tootin' cute bag you've ever seen in your life?
Oh, yes. Linda knows
that
you very
is
well.
So cute. I think I want to frame that and put that in my living room. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Linda, for thinking of me. Oh my, I absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Did you get me comments or questions?
I did send you some.
Today, so I have to tell you something. Today, I spent the entire day helping another friend declutter her basement. And you're not going to believe what happened.
Oh, yes.
So we've been going through getting everything. We found $20,000 in bonds in her basement. CDs, bonds. I can't remember which they were. CDs, I think. That are decades old and could be worth a very significant amount of money.
A lot more than that.
Like we're talking, it could be up to 80, 90, even $100,000 just in with all the junk.
So if you have stuff just laying around your house, you might want to organize it because they just found them there.
Get your stuff cleaned up, guys. Oh my goodness. Absolutely crazy. All right. Good evening, Tanya and Eclair. Hello. Hello, Under the Median is making split pea soup for supper. Yum. Valley of the Badlands, I'm early for change. Hi from very warm southern Alberta, 82. I didn't even know it got to 82 in Canada.
I wonder how hot does it get there in the hotter part of the summer? Because, like, I think it's about that temperature today here, but it'll get hotter. It was 28, was 82. Mm-hmm. Here it'll get up to close to 100 in the summer, right? Stay there for a while. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how that goes in Celsius. I think that's around 40. But I was just curious if it gets that hot up there too. I suspect it does. That's what I'm asking.
Michelle says, but I like Pioneer Women. It's just fun to watch. Yes, and that's totally okay. I don't know, guys. Type 1 if you guys watch cooking shows. Type 2 if you don't. I'm just curious how many people actually watch cooking shows. But it's fun just to watch them, and that's fine. But don't feel pressured, is what I'm saying. People feel pressured like they have to do this. You do not have to do that. But I'm just curious. Vicki doesn't, but Cooking with Deb does. Darla does. Janet doesn't. Terry does. Susan doesn't. Suzanne. Wow, it's about split down the middle. That's very... Oh, they watch Super Easy Recipes, my other channel. Okay.
Yay, okay, that's worth it.
That you can watch.
That's a great channel.
Actually, I'm not saying you can't watch them. I'm just saying don't give yourself those expectations and that kind of pressure.
And Super Easy Recipe has normal expectations.
Yeah.
Because Tara lets all the mistakes
I
go.
let it all hang out.
Yep.
I'm just that way. Don't you agree?
Yep.
Speaking of which, I'm curious. Let's see. What is... Oh, I thought I would be doing better than that. Okay. All right. So back to my question or comments. Water Bucket says, I wish I knew the store brand is just as delicious. Yes, that is one thing. I do not buy the store brand, or I do not buy the name brand. I almost always buy the store brand. Hershey's chocolate, although our recipe in Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, Mike likes better, and our hot fudge in Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, he likes better. You can find the recipe at livingonadime.com. And I'm making that now. There's no way I'm going to pay $5 for Hershey syrup. Absolutely ridiculous. That was the last time I looked last year, but let's see how much it is. Let's see how much it is now. Now it is, yeah, $4, $7 for the one I used to get you. That's
how much
just
was it?
Crazy. $5.
That's
crazy. It used to be $2 something. The one that's $4 now. Okay. Next one is Gotcha Girl says, yippee, missed her and her hubby. Haven't seen him in over 6 months. Been ill in Massachusetts. Finally back in Florida. Oh, I am so sorry you have not been feeling well. Angela, I have all 3 books and I love them. They have become my go-to cookbooks when I need something quick.
Yay, glad you like them.
Larry Veman says, best thing I learned is to serve the Lord. Went federal government when I was 26 after military, invested, now have no debt, pension, Social Security, and VA. Good job.
Sounds like Grandpa had all those things too,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Karen, I love pancakes for supper. I think it tastes better than having for breakfast. Yep, I agree. Tanya, I thought you had a recipe for white chili chicken. I looked in the book and couldn't find it. Yeah, I mean, it was my prize, my first place chili. It is in volume 2. Is it in volume 2? It's in one of these. I can't remember which one we put it in. It is in...
Is that me? Do you mean the chili?
The white chili.
The white chili? I think it's in here. It's award-winning white chili.
131 in volume 2. Yep.
All right.
That I use for chicken too. It is delicious. Of course it is. It's got whipping cream. It's one of the few recipes. I've only got like 5 or 6 recipes that have whipping cream in there because all the recipes are cheap. But that recipe is so delicious. It's worth it. Kimberly, good morning from Australia. Wow. And she loves my pancake recipe. It is so fluffy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wanda says, I watch real people making frugal meals on YouTube. Yep. Thank you. Kimberly, in one of your other videos, watch that. I read that one. Janet, we've been eating these foods for a year. I'm still living. Yep. Sean, check and verify. Yep. Wanda, there was time when they were saying milk was bad for you. They come up with something all the time. I know. 30 years ago, you couldn't eat butter because butter was so bad for you. Now you can't eat margarine because margarine's so bad for you. If people would just stop worrying about what they're eating and just eat a little bit, just cut their portions back and use smaller plates and stop stuffing their gullets so much, it would be fine. Carol, we need to stop and think about whose pockets are being lined with all the publishing of these scare tactics. Yep.
Well, yeah, because one thing for like the YouTubers that are doing conspiracy things, fear and confusion gets clicks, and clicks translate to money for them. So just because you hear something, I wouldn't believe it until you actually, if it seems scary enough, then do some actual real research and find out.
Mary says, I've been using paper plates since my boys were little, 34, 33, and 29. Yeah. And like now, today I was helping my friend clean out her basement. She had all these party supplies, and she was just going to get rid of all these plates and send them to the thrift store that were unicorns and Minion and what was the other one? Pirates of the Caribbean or something. I said, well, I'll take them and we'll just eat off of them. My boys can eat off of little unicorn plates if they want to use a paper plate. Kimberly says she's anti-Martha. That's funny. She also says, if growing up in the 70s as one of 7 kids didn't kill me, then nothing will. Amen, sister. Wow. She also says breakfast for dinner is the best. Omelets and salad. Yeah. Sarah, I was just told we have omelets in volume 2, I believe. A really good recipe at livingonadime.com. Mike's omelet recipe. Kimberly says, I don't can. I freeze everything I grow. I go through boxes of Ziploc in the fall. Yep, I freeze everything too. Kimberly, or dehydrate. Kimberly, 1 week it's eggs that are bad and high in cholesterol. Then it's potatoes have too many carbs. Give me a break. Yep. Exactly. Arthur says, my sister loved the cookbooks. Thank you. Appreciate you buying them and supporting us. Emily says, the reality is that there are very few people alive today who remember the Great Depression. Send me the next one. And understand what's going on. They knew true hardship and true lack. We've grown up in abundance. It's going to be very difficult adjustment for a lot of people to make if they don't change their attitudes. Oh my goodness. I'm doing a video on this. Have you guys seen all the hoo-ha going around because the president said, well, maybe the kids will get $2 or $3 instead of $30 for Christmas? He is so right. I'm doing a video on this. I was watching MSNBC, which I know is in the toilet. But the way they were spinning that, I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. If people were living that way to begin with, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now. Oh, my hair was about to blow off the top of my head. It was all I could do to keep my mouth shut. And I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. It's crazy. Eric, no need to worry about chemicals in food. Food, not the problem. Overeating is the problem. Watch how much you eat and how. Yes, exactly. Emily, abundance and instant gratification. Yep. Janet, I was given a box of food today. I did not need it. I gave it to my neighbor who has 2 kids. Yep. Kelly, hello, Tara and Mike. Happy Mother's Day, Tara. Thank you.
Yes, happy early Mother's Day.
I'm a mother, yes.
Yes.
Thank you for making me a mother.
You're welcome. Thank you for all my kids.
Okay, back to what we're doing. Science Human. Hello, Kellen family. All I hear from people panicking about the tariffs. I tell them chicken is still cheap and just buy the food that's affordable, like ramen. I know. You're right. Valley Badlands.
And people are just panicking about them because the news is telling them to. I mean, it might do something eventually, but almost everything out there that's freaking people out right now isn't actually happening. That's the funny thing. I actually looked today because people were asking on the last couple of shows, did you hear all the ports are empty? Oh my goodness, all the ports are empty. I looked online today and did some research, and there were things like the Port Authority manager from Seattle was being interviewed by the Seattle News and was saying, no, the port's not empty. I think she said that they had slightly more shipping traffic than usual, that some of the boats are coming 30% less full, and other ones are coming full as they normally are. So there's a big range of things going on with the boats, but they're not having an empty port. And it sounds like not a huge amount of shortages. And also I saw that a lot of businesses pre-ordered a bunch of stock before the tariffs hit because they wanted to make sure they got it before then. So don't just listen when people say, oh my goodness, all the ports are empty. They're not. They might be in the future, but they're not now. And so you can prepare, but don't panic about things that aren't happening.
Angela says she loves the bag. She loves gnomes. I do too. They're my favorite. Bounty in the Badlands says most people do not have the land to grow a garden big enough to sustain themselves for any length of time. Gardening and preserving for survival is a life skill that takes years to develop. Yes, it does. Thank you. As a matter of fact, we had this guy. I'm getting rid of a whole bunch of rock and putting in this huge perennial garden, hopefully. But we had this guy come and get some of the rock, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing with it? He said, oh, I'm putting in a greenhouse. I said, oh, well, yeah, that'll be nice. He said, yeah, even if I can grow 2 potatoes, it'll more than pay for itself.
How much do potatoes cost on your side of town, mister?
Let me see. I have been gardening. How old am I? 52. I have been gardening for 37 years. And I don't think I have yet to recoup my costs in gardening. And I've gotten almost everything I could for free. But still, there are costs to gardening. You can't just go throw something in the ground and expect it to grow. You got to buy the seeds, or you got to buy the plants. You got to buy fertilizer. You got to water it. You got to keep the critters out. So fencing. Yeah, it's not anything you can do right away. He's going to be in for a rude awakening, but that's fine. He took some of my rocks, so. Dear Path, listening to you as I make dinner, grilling fresh hamburgers that I got 50% off. Good job at Jewel, plus her employee discount. Wow, that's a really good job. Terry, watch him to enjoy cooking, not necessarily for me to cook the food that they're making unless it's easy things. Exactly. I mean, it's fine if you just want to watch it for the fun of it, but I just don't want people to feel pressured. Tammy, I only watch YouTube home cooking shows. Wanda, most of the time they use 2 fancy food items. Yeah, guys, 99 dime cookbooks. They're on sale right now. We use ingredients that you can get at the grocery store. No shiitake mushrooms in here. And they are quick, easy recipes your family will love. We got taco seasoning. We have how to make pancakes, scrambled eggs, all of your basic foods, honey baked chicken, maple glazed chicken, how to make pasta salad. All of those recipes are in there. Cassandra, I love Struggle Meals channels. Or maybe that's a channel. Yeah. Girl with a plan. If only I would eat the appropriate serving size, I would consume less and waste less. Yep. And save more. Lisa, one, including yours, making Pioneer Woman recipe tonight. Thank you. I have another channel for those of you who don't know, Super Easy Recipes. And it is all cooking. And actually, we're heading towards 100,000. We're almost at 80,000 subscribers. So that's not too bad. Kimberly, when I lived in the North Pole, Alaska, it would get up to like 97 in July. Summer's only a few weeks long, but hot enough to get in the lake and ride the jet skis. Oh, that sounds fun.
I will be sharing the Super Easy Recipes link right now.
Rita says, hello from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. She loves my candy recipes. Thank you. Kimberly says, Aldi has really good store brands. Sometimes you have to really just try the store brand and see if you can tell the difference. Yes, that's it. It's worth it to at least just try it. Most stores will give you your money back if you don't like it, and people don't know that. So just keep your receipt and just take it back if they don't like it, if you don't like it. Amazing. How did decluttering go? What a good friend. I need a friend like that. Yes, it went very well. She is extremely motivated. We did not get it all finished. We were hoping we could get it all done today, but we didn't get it all done. So I'm going to go back next week or the week after. But we got a huge amount done. Huge amount. We probably dumped at least 10, maybe 12 or 13 trash bags full, probably closer to 12 or 13 trash bags full. We took, so our dining on a dime boxes are like this big, and we used all 10 of those for thrift store, plus another couple boxes for the thrift store, and a whole bunch of loose stuff that were too big to put in boxes for the thrift store. And then we got started on her getting stuff organized so that now when she puts it back, she has a place to put everything. Thank you, Bernadine, for watching my super easy channel. Carol, I have bought the Dining on a Dime books for my granddaughters and they love them. And I just bought volume 1 and 2 again for myself. I have been a follower of years since the Not Just Beans Day. Wow.
What? How did I miss that?
Carol. So my original name of my cookbook was called Not Just Beans because this is kind of funny. Dave Ramsey at the time was just starting to become popular, and he kept telling people, eat beans and rice to get out of debt. And I'm like, you don't have to eat beans and rice to get out of debt. I feed my family for $125 a month at the time, and we were not eating beans and rice.
Well, and Tara didn't like beans because when they were younger, they were in a pretty desperate situation. And sometimes they would get people donating stuff, and it was always beans. So she said, so she was making a cookbook to show that you don't have to just eat beans and rice to eat for a low price.
Carol or Yvonne says she just loves her volume 2 cookbook that she got today right here. This one is the volume 2. They are volume 1 and 2. I just couldn't put all the recipes in volume 1. And so volume 2 is just an extension, totally new recipes though. Valley of the Badlands, busy week, wedding last Saturday, branded Sunday and Tuesday, minor surgery today, recoup tomorrow, ship pears to summer grass on Friday. Holy cow. Yeah, you are busy. Can you see me the next one? Yep. Yeah, I saw this thing by the Holderness family, and they were doing it's May-Cember, where May is as busy or busier than December. It's like, oh my goodness, that is so true. I sent that to everybody I know because it's like, it's crazy. Everything that they have going on, like with school and concerts and all of this stuff. Yeah, just crazy. Yeah. Texas Gadget Gal says, I want to thank y'all so much for motivating me in cooking. I made potatoes and chicken out of your red book, and my family named them Actually Good Potatoes and Actually Good Chicken. Yes, everything in here is actually good. It is very delicious. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Because I tested all the recipes because I didn't want anything in there that didn't taste good. So I did test. And if you get the gluten-free, dairy-free edition, right here, all of these are tested, including the sandwich bread, which is delicious. There's no reason to pay $8 for gluten-free sandwich bread anymore. Also, guys, our price books are 40% off. This is how you save on groceries to keep track of prices. Texas Gal, I want to thank y'all so much for motivating me in cooking. I made potatoes and chicken out of your red book. Oh, wait, that's the right one. She also said, we've been married 31 years, and your help has enabled my family to not turn into magicians, disappear into thin air when it's dinner time. Ah! So I think that means my cooking is good. Should we ask my son if my cooking is good, or should we just, let that slide by?
Sure. Ask him.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Patricia says, it's difficult being the only frugal one in the family. Oh, believe me, I know. We are basically the only frugal ones on both sides of our family. Well, kind of. My sister-in-law's a little frugal, thankfully. But it is hard. I totally get it. And there are, and then there's people who think they're frugal and they're not. You're just like, okay, keeping my mouth shut. Kimberly, that's why I had to subscribe to a lot of channels, because after a couple of years of fear tactics, I just couldn't take the anxiety. Oh, I know, it's ridiculous. And that's why a lot of these videos that we're talking about, like today's video, I did a short video that came out that says, are you ready? My whole point in talking these things is I'm watching some of these fear people, and I'm like, guys, there are things you can do so you don't have to be afraid. First of all is put your trust in Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I'm not afraid because I know that no matter what happens, because I'm a Christian, I'm going to be taken care of one way or another. If I die, well, I'm not worried about it because I'll just be in heaven. So I'm not really that freaked out about it. And if I'm still stuck here on earth, well, then I'll just keep forging on. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we have our preps. We have things in place. Is it going to cover every single thing that comes up? No, it's not. You cannot cover for every single possible thing that could happen. But you do as much as you can with what you have and the space you have and the money that you have. And then you just have to leave the rest in God's hands. Jacqueline, do you have a Mother's Day recommendation menus? I think this year we will stay home and invite family over. Man, I don't know. It just depends on what you guys like to eat. I mean, you could put a roast in the oven, or you could put a pork roast in the oven or chicken, and then just make any of the, I mean, I don't know what you like to eat. So it just kind of depends on what you like. But like glazed carrots are in volume 1. We have a really good cauliflower recipe in here for sides. We have several side dishes like Jello salads in volume 2. So you can just look through if you have the cookbooks and see. It just depends on what you want. But what's funny is when we were at Yellowstone this weekend, the Old Faithful Inn has a dining room. $50 a person to eat there for their buffet. And you know what they had? It was all recipes that are in our cookbook. Glazed carrots, bacon green beans. The chicken was like a stroganoff type chicken type thing, just like our beef stroganoff, except just use chicken instead. I was just like mortified that it would have cost us a minimum of $150 to eat one meal, and it's all the stuff that I make at home. Yeah. I wanted to do it. We should have done it as a business expense and filmed it because I wanted to taste test it and see if it tasted better there or if mine was better. But I just couldn't bring myself to pay that money.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to tell you, we do have that Mother's Day brunch post on the website.
It's
that's going in the newsletter tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
can you put the link in there for them?
Yep.
Elaine or Laura says, hello from Texas. I am a saver and a prepper now. I live debt-free, 100% debt-free. I'm very proud of it. Good for you. Guys, once you get debt-free, stay out of debt. We were talking to someone the other day and they were talking about their credit score and how they're getting ready to be debt-free. And I was like, well, what do you need a credit score for? You're not going to go back into debt, are you? Well, I don't know. I said, no, you don't go back into debt unless it's just an absolute literal life and death emergency.
Well, the other thing is, like with us, we have just to make it simpler, we have a credit card for the business and a credit card for the personal, and all the expenses go on that. And I pay it at least once a month, but usually twice a month, sometimes more. And because of that, charges up a lot and pays off a lot. Now, I wouldn't recommend that unless you're actually paying it off every month, because some people get into the habit and then they're like, oh, well, this month my money's a little tight, so I'm going to carry it over and let it accrue interest. No, then you're losing. But by doing it that way, we don't necessarily need the credit at that point, but it's just, it keeps your credit up for if there's some reason in the future you would actually need it. So, because the companies just see you having a balance and paying it off every month.
Lane says, who in the world has $30? Are you kidding me? Like half of the American children probably have $30. Just this friend that I was helping recently, she had, and we're talking gigantic totes. We're not talking a small tote. We're talking a gigantic, a small, I would say a half of a dining room table or 3/4 of a dining room table. It was huge. It was like 4 feet long and about, 2 feet wide, 2.5 feet wide, filled with dolls and stuffed animals. Filled. And then that doesn't include all the little toy dolls that she had. Literally hundreds of toys, hundreds of toys. So it's crazy. Deborah bought chicken leg quarters for 66 cents a pound a day. Good job. Bounty the Badlands. Bought all my grand's presents in the clearance at 75% off. Good job. Ellen, Tara, why do you torture yourself with MSNBC? I've been checking Reuters for the most part, living on a dime to grow rich. Oh, I don't watch it. I watch it for commentary only, for me to do videos. I don't watch MS. As a matter of fact, that's probably the first thing I've seen from MSNBC in years. But I happened to cross this one and I was like, wait, what? So I had to see how they were coming from that. And no, I do it for content creation. I don't listen to their baloney. Donna, we buy canned vegetables from Save a Lot when they are low price and stock up. Recently tried Walmart brand of medium roast coffee and I find I like the taste. Yeah. Judy, 1980s had rampant inflation, layoffs, 18% prime rate. Things are always challenging. Yep. Can you see the next one? Jacqueline, I am spot cleaning my clothes and hanging on the line. UV sunlight disinfects clothes, saving tons of money and time. Thank you for all the suggestions over the years. You're welcome. Eric, I will be ordering the Green Book, which is our Dining on a Dime gluten-free, dairy-free edition. So if you're gluten-free, dairy-free like me, that is the one for you.
Wait, breaking news. Breaking news. Eric posted another post. Just ordered the Green Cookbook.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think you're going to love it.
Thank you.
The brownies in there are amazing.
Yeah. He actually likes the gluten-free brownies better than even my regular ones.
They're kind of juicier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jersey Gypsy says every day they claim everything's bad for you, from water to plastic, carbs, eggs. We are not to eat plant-based, use glass, doing away with plastic store bags, stuff by is made of. Yeah. Badlands, Tara, my veggie garden is an acre plus. I preserve everything and we still have to buy groceries. Yep.
You know what's funny about the thing about all the things that are going to kill you is, I think one thing that's a big problem now is, they were talking about the internet and all this. You can get all this information and it's right at your fingertips. But now we're just bombarded with information and people can't handle it. But not only that, there's no way, unless you go specifically and research a specific topic, there's no way that you can verify all that information. And a lot of it isn't true. So that's the thing I was thinking too, is cut down the amount of exposure you have to all the wild information on the internet.
Yep. Lisa says she's happy to see our lives back. Thank you. Michelle says Laura in the Kitchen on YouTube is like a mid-level for hardness on how to cook. I love her cookbook, but still haven't made anything from it. Ellen, but shiitake mushrooms are good, especially the dried ones that are much cheaper. So I actually had my first shiitake mushroom this weekend, and it was darn tootin' good, actually. It was a shiitake mushroom with goat cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I think I might actually have to make that.
It was just goat cheese, no seasonings or anything.
It was just goat cheese.
Was it broiled or what did it look like?
I think they baked it. I don't think it was broiled. I think it was baked. But yeah.
Wow.
Janet, I love your easy recipes. I just made Cool Whip balls you just did yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, if you have extra Cool Whip, freeze them. Take an ice cream scoop and put scoops on a tray and freeze them, and then pull them out and put them in a baggie and put them in your coffee, tea, or cocoa when you need cream. Kimberly, if you're growing that huge amount of potatoes and onions, it's usually because you're a homesteader or someone that is very dependent on your summer garden. You can buy a bag of potatoes for a few bucks, say with onions. Yeah. Donna,
that's the reason why Tara was wondering. You're going to go to all this effort to grow them and they're so cheap.
I know.
I mean, if you want to learn how to grow them in case there's an emergency in the future, that's cool.
And if you built a greenhouse that big, a greenhouse probably costs no less than $1,500.
I know, that's a lot of potatoes.
I have a feeling the way this guy was that they spent a whole lot more than that on it. Michelle, sub to super easy recipes right now. Thank you. Suze, just joining in because you mentioned that your cookbook recipes involve fewer ingredients than most found elsewhere. A game changer for those who find cooking just too complicated. Yes, and you can go to our ordering page for the cookbook, and there's a video flipping through the entire book. So you can stop and look at every single recipe. There's over 1,200 recipes and tips in volume 1. in volume 2 is 800 recipes and tips. And also in our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, it is 800 recipes and tips also. Suze, just joining in. Be sure to mention that your cookbook recipes involve fewer ingredients than most found elsewhere. Yep. Darlene, how do you keep mice, chipmunks out of your garden? Something is chewing off my new flowers and pulling out the bulbs. It might be squirrels. And I had that problem last year with the squirrels. And I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I don't know. It's at that point where I've got to start getting all this stuff together for my garden. I'm like, oh man, do I do all this work to keep the animals out? We got deer, we got raccoon, we got squirrels, we got rabbits. Did I say rabbits?
See what happens when you live out in the wild. Actually,
Send me the next one.
There's a cat. I already did. And I've got another one, but I sent you that.
Can you send it to me again?
Okay. 4 is the one you need, right?
I think I just did 4.
What?
Dooby.
I don't think you did.
I did 3. Yeah, 3. So I need 4.
4.
Sorry, guys. The internet is having a brain fart.
Oh, no wonder you didn't get it.
Because you didn't send it to me?
Yep. Our son came in yesterday and said, there's a cat that hangs out in the area that just patrols around. It's a domestic cat. But anyway, the kids haven't seen it in a long time. And suddenly it was there. And he said, yeah, I just gacked a rabbit the other day. So I guess
it's hunting
it's not the worst thing for the cat to hang around the garden.
Wanda, there's so many varieties of beans and ways to cook them. Yum. Yep. Janet, I just made bean salad. I did the chickpeas, black beans, and white beans. Put a little dressing on it. Yep, that's delicious. Myra, I love cooking shows to get ideas. Yep. Labama says, I am loving having you guys live every night. I miss these so much. There's a place you always get common sense and straight shooting advice. Tara Unfiltered is the best. Thank you. How do you feel about Tara Unfiltered?
I like it when it's on the show.
In real life? What's it like? Okay.
Sometimes good, sometimes not.
What's it like living with Tara?
Well, you never get a gray area answer. Tara definitely has an opinion. Actually, one thing I really liked about her at the beginning was she would actually tell me what she was thinking. Of course, now I regret it sometimes, but back then I thought, wow, because like on the Hallmark movies, it's all, oh, I hope he gets the idea. I'm just going to do this kind of weird thing, and then he's going to get it. And the guys are always like, whoa. And then it causes some kind of big disaster. But in real life, Tara was different than that. She would just tell me straight up what she thought about something. And I was like, this is different. I like this. So
it's funny. Eric says, best cookbooks I ordered. Anyone who orders won't be sorry. Thank you. Michelle, I paused Amazon Prime again. Good for you. Mary, your cooking show is amazing. The fudge. Yes. Isn't that crazy? I was going for world domination of fudge. And I don't know how many fudge recipes I did, but it's got to be upwards of 30 or 40 of them by the time I was done with Christmas. I mean, I don't know for sure. I need to go back in and count. But,
it was like Tara's candy shop for months and months.
Oh, man. We had candy out the wazoo. I was finally to the point where I was having to throw it away because we just could not. It was just too much.
We did kind of joke around behind the scenes that when we first met, Tara was working at a candy shop.
Yeah.
And then here we were doing the candy shop thing together later. And not only that, but back then I was, I had my TV degree and I was trying to get into TV. And now we're doing essentially the same thing.
Pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
Karen, but Tara's opinions are the truth. So that's why I like to hear her opinion. I try to be nice.
Yep. Actually,
now,
she really
I did
does.
almost lose it when my friend found what could possibly be upwards of $100,000 in her basement tonight.
Just laying in a pile of trash.
Just wanted to say.
Oh,
like,
no.
get your butt to the bank now.
Sarah says, Happy Mother's Day. Tara, how long have you been married?
30 years. Yep, 30 years. Ellen, I'm not frugal, but I do some frugal things. Yep. And that's okay. Water bucket, guilty. I think I'm frugal. I'm a work in progress, and that is okay. Myra, when I didn't know how to shop, I used to buy the store brand. Now I can get good stuff on sale. One thing I was thinking about doing was having a go grocery shopping with me day. So I should do that. Arthur, I'm so frugal, I don't even have a credit score at all. There you go. Water bucket. Amen. Do the footwork and trust God. Yeah. Penn says a taco bar. Yep, that's always delicious. Karen agrees with water bucket. Do what you can. Trust God. Mary, I'd like prayers for my 16-month-old grandson. He's in the hospital, extremely ill. He's the happiest, smiley little guy. Aw, we will do that. Penn says Tara's taco seasoning in my volume 1, livingonadime.com is where you can find the recipe. She loves it. Valor says, Jesus is my number one security. Yes. Yay. You need to be dependent on him, but you also got to do what you can. Tanya, I think I'm frugal. There have been times I made decisions that may not seem frugal to others, but I did them for good reasons, and I don't owe money, so it's okay. Yep, very good. That's what I was telling my friend today as we were decluttering our place. She's like, yeah, but I paid really good money for it. And I'm like, yeah, and it's molding in your basement. Just get rid of it. How long has it been since you've looked at this? Are you going to actually do this sewing project? When are you going to actually do this craft project? All this clutter is taking up time in your mind and just causing you stress.
You're basically punishing yourself because you bought something in the past and you know you're not going to use it, but you feel bad because you paid money for it. So just make it go away.
So you screwed up. Okay, you screwed up. Just don't do it again. Get it out of the house and move on.
Because how much pressure does that take off your mind to just have it gone?
Yeah.
And you could, if you can find somebody to buy it, you could try to sell it, but don't hang on to it forever while you're thinking you could sell it someday. You could give it to the thrift store and somebody would be super blessed who goes in there and says, oh, look what I found. And then they'll keep it for 20 years in their basement. Just kidding. No, hopefully they would use it. So
Deidre, if you're practically bedbound with CFS, where should I start with meal prep and planning for my family for? Okay, so the first step is to write out 10 spring and summer meals, 10 fall and winter meals. Just do spring and summer right now, and then in September do the winter and okay, wait a minute. Yeah, fall and winter. So like in September, do fall and winter. See, I had a CFS moment myself there. I was gonna say so just get you 10 meals down that you always cook. I don't even do spring and summer or winter and fall really anymore. We have our 10 meals that we always eat. Green chili, enchiladas. You can tell we like Mexican food. Tacos, spaghetti, chicken and rice, roasts, pork roasts or pork chops. And what else do I fix frequently? Sausage links with potatoes and vegetables. So those are the main things that we cook. We just cook them over and over again. So figure out those 10 recipes. Then you are going to buy your groceries to replenish your pantry and your grocery store. You're not going to meal plan every week. Those are your meals. Eating the same meal every 10 days is not that frequent at all.
And people like it.
Most people will do like pasta Saturday, taco Tuesday, Monday what? Italian. Friday, or I guess that's pasta too, but you know what I mean. Or Friday leftovers or Sunday leftovers, however you want to do that. You can do it that way too if you want. But buy simple meals. First of all, if dishes are just too much and you said you had 4 kids, I think. No, you have 2 kids. Depending on how old the kids are, make sure they're doing the dishes. Your husband can do the dishes. If they're too little or your husband's working too many hours, use paper plates if you need to. keep the convenience foods in. If you're too tired to slice potatoes, get frozen fries, get frozen tater tots. It's okay. You can still make super easy dinners for that. Now, the biggest thing that I do is I will cook a big thing of meat and then make 3 to 4, 5, 6 meals out of that meat. So I'll take a roast, and that's my meat for 3 or 4 days. So we'll have roast the first day where I drop the roast with potatoes and carrots in the crock pot. Literally takes me 5 minutes to do. Then I'll have leftover roast and make it beef and noodles, or I'll make it stew or fajitas or something like that. So my meat is already cooked. I'll do the same thing with chicken. I'll get one of those 3 to 5 pound packs from Walmart, and I'll just dump them all in the crock pot and pre-cook it all. I'll do the same with hamburger. I'll get a 5 pound chub of hamburger, cook it all in a Dutch oven. Then I pre-package it in little sandwich bags, which is about 3/4 to a pound of meat. And then just pull one of those out of the freezer or fridge and just use it for my meal. So once your meat is all cooked, then it's a lot easier.
I was just laughing because Bernadine says meatloaf Monday. Yeah. Stephanie says meatless Monday, which I think is hilarious because in light of Bernadine's. And then Karen says get it yourself Friday.
Yep.
Which you call, fending for yourself, right?
Yep. We say every man for himself night. Mary says, greatly appreciate all of you. This Oma is thankful. Thank you. We really appreciate you guys supporting us. Cooking with cat litter. Oh, cat litter. Cat lover. I'm sorry. I am so utterly exhausted. And now tomorrow I have to go do a service day for Jack's school. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it the whole day.
And then we're doing another show tomorrow
night. I may not make it all day. Cooking with Cat Lover says the garlic salad in volume 1, page 159 is so good. Thank you. That's actually one of our favorites.
Oh, yes. It's amazing.
One of our favorites.
You know, something else that's easy that our boys ask for a lot is the Parmesan chicken. Is that that's in the book, right?
Yep. And the potato flake chicken. That's another one we eat a lot of.
Super easy. Tara spends literally 2 minutes putting it together and then throws it in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nathaniel says, can you see the next one?
She says you can call me cat litter, just don't call me late to dinner.
Yeah. Nathaniel says, I refuse to have credit card, let alone credit score. Very good. Ellen says, my niece easily had 30 American Girl dolls because my mother kept buying them for her. Yes. That is a huge problem. The amount of toys that kids have is absolutely insane. And even like my friend, she was giving all this stuff to her granddaughter. I'm like, does your daughter want your granddaughter having all this stuff? She was like, well, she can get rid of it. But so I do have a problem with this because it's not your daughter's responsibility to deal with your clutter. And I told her that. She knows that. But
I was surprised because somebody earlier said, who actually has $30? And I was thinking, I can't think of how many times I've been at somebody's house and you see in the daughter's bedroom and the bed is half covered with dolls. Like, whoa.
It's not unheard of.
That's a lot. A lot of people do that.
Tanya, please don't drop the roast, Tara. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I would do that, wouldn't I? Mary, I make my own Mother's Day breakfast. I have my own wonderful omelet maker here. He makes it for me every Mother's Day and birthday. Eric loves the stove in my background. Thank you. I got that for $50 at a garage sale, and they say it works. We just don't have the power in here. We were going to make this into a usable cooking studio and then decided not to because it was just too hard.
So right now it's a decorative studio.
Now it's a decorative studio.
Although we could hook up the stove if we ever wanted to.
Yeah. Elaine says, I guess I was poor and didn't know it. I only had a few Barbies and one baby doll. Yep. She had a good childhood anyway. Yep. Ellen, Tara, shiitakes with groceries sounds great. Yeah. And we got it for super cheap. Super, super cheap. So it was like $6 for the entire buffet for this special thing that we did. Mary, what are the frozen balls? The frozen balls.
I was wondering that too.
The meatballs, maybe? Maybe meatballs? I don't know.
That might be what it is.
I don't remember.
I didn't hear the conversation talking about it, but I thought you would remember when you saw it. So apparently not.
The frozen whipped cream. Sorry.
Oh,
I
that.
take an ice cream scoop and freeze whipped cream on a tray in individual things. And then I take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag, put it back in the freezer, and pull one out when I need it for my cocoa or tea or whatever. Darling, Will Fudge, I miss so much. That's okay. You can go back and watch it. Lisa, my papa had problems with gophers in the garden in Tennessee and moles on occasion. Yeah. It's a never-ending battle in the garden. And then you get the joy of hail at the end of the year if you're able to get anything. Last year, I basically didn't get any vegetables at all because we got held out. I got a few, but nothing to write home about.
There were a bunch of tomatoes that were useful for tomato sauce because they were blown to bits.
I didn't make them into tomato sauce, but I didn't get that much really because they were all green. Valley Badlands, my asparagus is just coming up. Mother's Day breakfast will be scrambled eggs, bacon, and fresh asparagus sauteed in garlic butter, but I will be cooking.
Whoa.
Renee, I meant to say, wait, I'm new. Are we supposed to be canceling Amazon Prime? No, you don't have to cancel Amazon Prime. We were just talking about things that, like for us, we use Amazon Prime for our business. Like almost every day we got a package coming from Amazon. But if you don't use it, necessarily, and we also use it for movies and stuff, so we get our value out of it. But if you don't use it that often, then cancel it because it's not worth. Yeah.
It's not just Amazon, but because Michelle, I think, was saying that she doesn't use Amazon Prime enough for the cost, the annual fee for it. But there are a lot of things we're telling people to think about. Like if you have various streaming platforms that you pay for, think about how much you actually watch them. Because a lot of times people they have 15, 20 of them and they don't realize how much they're paying. We used to actually, when we had cable 15 years ago, there was a point 20 years ago, there's a point where I was looking at the cost of the cable and how much TV we watch a day. And I was doing the math and figuring out how much it costs to watch each show. And if you think of it that way, it's kind of interesting because then you think, is it really worth $5 to watch this show?
Yeah.
Or whatever price it is. Would you pay that to watch anything else? And that's helpful to understand that.
Back to the CFS and cooking thing. This is another big one that I forgot to address. Another thing I do is double batch cooking. So if I make green chili, I will make a double batch and I'll either freeze the second half or we will eat it the next night or later that week. Or like Monday, I'll have green chili, make a double batch. The next day we'll have spaghetti and then we'll have green chili again. Or I'll get those containers and just throw it in the freezer. Then on a night when I just literally can't get out of bed, Mike can throw it in the freezer and get some tortillas and put some salsa and cheese on it and you're good to go. So that's another thing I do is batch cooking, but I don't stand and make 20 batches of bread a day and put it in my freezer or anything like that. No, I don't do that kind. I just double the recipe that I'm already cooking. So like if I'm making meatballs, I'll just make double the meatballs. So yeah. Okay. Dragon fruit. That's exactly how I found your YouTube channel when you were cooking sweets for Christmas holidays. Oh, thank you. That is great.
Awesome.
Yvonne, you should totally do that shopping thing. Yeah, I probably will. So anyway, Jacqueline says, how's mom? She is doing well. Thank you. Angela, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Bounty in the Badlands. The Christmas gift poem, something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. Yep. We give nothing more and my kids were never deprived compared to their friends. Yep. Valley Badlands. If people eat fast food, they eat more of the same thing than 10 meal rotations. Yeah.
Because there's only 5 things on the menu.
Yeah. Do you have the next batch?
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Just a second.
Please pause for this station identification. All the things the kids have never heard before.
Living on a dime. Mother's Day sales happening right now. 50% off our sets, 40% off our single books, And our price books right here to help you save money on your grocery bill and use that money to get out of debt. All right. Arthur,
Living on a dime. We'll be right back.
Arthur, what was the brand of your new fridge? I forgot. It was at Amana.
We don't recommend it.
I will have been without a refrigerator for over a month. Totally dead. Compressor and computer board dead. Hopefully next week the parts will come in. I am just so livid. If I had nails in my mouth, they would be spitting in the wall and putting the board up.
Well, we had the new refrigerator for 3 months, and now we've had no refrigerator for a month.
No, we had 2 months.
2 months, and now it's been how long without it?
A month.
So we bought it brand new. It worked for 2 months, and it's been completely dead. It's not like it's making a little noise or doing some kind of, it's just like dead after 2 months. And so I certainly would not recommend an Amana fridge. And like one thing, it would be great to see if somehow through all the chaos that's happening right now, that hopefully will turn things into a better situation. If somewhere along the way, somebody would make appliances that actually work. There was a joke I saw. I sent it to Tara.
Elon Musk could make billions if he would just make appliances that work.
I sent Tara this joke I saw on the internet. It said 2024 appliances breaks within 2 years. 1980s refrigerator. I will outlive you and everyone you love. I'm eternal. I'm time itself. And I was thinking, my entire childhood, we had the same refrigerator.
Yeah. Amana. My grandparents had the same refrigerator for 45 years.
And in the last 2 years, we've had 2 refrigerators come and go. Like this other one that we just bought is dead already. And sure, he's going to fix it eventually once the parts get here.
Amana, guys. It was Amana.
But it's ridiculous to have appliances. I mean, the meme has got to have some truth in reality that people are noticing that the appliances aren't lasting that long.
It should be illegal.
Should you pay $1,200, $1,500 for a refrigerator and then have it last a year and a half?
It was $1,600.
That's absolutely ridiculous. So it's no wonder that there's a lawsuit against LG going on right now.
Yeah. My Badlands, my meal plan. Honey, what do you want for dinner? Then we eat for a couple of days until it's gone. Yep. Wanda, someone else's idea. Corn clean out refrigerator night. There you go. Jane O'More says, I stopped making lasagna. It used to cost me $50 to make a few pans 15 years ago. Afraid of what it would cost now. Yeah, I have not made lasagna in years. I used to use cat litter to drive away groundhogs. That's a good idea. I need to tell Ellie that because on their new property, they have a groundhog problem. It's cheaper to buy lasagna now. Yes, I totally agree. Wanda, the only doll I ever had was Mrs. Beasley. The rest were stuffed animals. Yep. Michelle, I wanted an American Girl doll, but when I asked my parents for one, they didn't know what they were. They got my sister one a few years later. I was so jealous. Oh, sorry. Bonnie Badlands, my grandma passed in 1994, had a bed totally dedicated to her doll collection. You spent the night, you spent it on the couch. Oh, that's funny.
I would be like, yeah, Grandma, I see you love me.
Jane O'More says, deer like tomatoes when 60 plants disappear overnight, so less by the house they avoid. Oh, my goodness. Michelle, my parents never thought cable was worth it. Yep. Lisa Portara, you need a long night. Yes, I do. I'm exhausted. Kim, I buy meat on sale. I make multiple meals off of each package. Yep. Sandy, a lot cheaper than going to the movies. Yes, it is, and that's fine. Donna, yes, we dropped many of the streaming subscriptions to save money. Yep. We pay to watch Gaither Homecoming TV. I didn't know they had one. Huh. Pen, oh, maybe you should do a show analyzing how many hours you have to work to watch a show like Netflix, cable, all that. You can send me the last one, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, I know. Judy says people got new appliances, save money on electricity, and end up costing them more. Oh, yeah. It makes me absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. Carrot says my 2-year-old washing machine had to have a new part, which they didn't know when they will get it. We trade it for Speed Queen made in the USA. Yeah. I know.
But it's funny because when we were looking at the last time for a refrigerator, we were prepared to spend a lot more to get one that we thought would definitely
I would pay $10,000 for a refrigerator if it would last me the rest of my life. I am so sick of this. I would. This is absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse for it. Absolutely no excuse for it, except all these crazy environmental wackos putting all these regulations on them, and then all the cheap Chinese fecal matter makes me so angry.
Well, and actually, the talk about canceling Amazon Prime, somebody asked about that earlier. At the moment, we still have it, and we buy it a lot, but we're buying less from there because we're getting so much junk.
Yeah.
There were so many things where we buy something and I bought a humidifier because I've got the dry eye problem. It lasted 3 months. It was like $150. It lasted because I got a fancy one in hopes that it would work well. And it worked great until it failed. But after 3 months, it's totally dead. And the company won't give me any tech support, and Amazon won't take it back because it's been 3 months. And there's a lot of stuff we've had from Amazon like that lately. And I just think I think a lot more carefully now before buying something on there.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where I'm seriously considering, because I have white appliances. So in 18 months, our washer, fridge, and our washer, stove, and refrigerator all died in 18 months. The stove was irreparable. It would cost more to refix it than the stove was worth. The refrigerator, we did finally get it fixed, but it was just so noisy. I decided to get rid of it and get a new one that was quiet. Our dishwasher we were able to fix, but it cost us $250 because we got a discount because our friend is an appliance repairman. It would have cost me $400. So I'm at the point now where if I see like the stove that replaced the one that died after 18 months, it's a 20-year-old stove. So I'm at the point now of thinking, if I see a white stove, a refrigerator, dishwasher, and they're more than 10 years old, I might just buy them just to have a spare.
Well, it's funny because Pistol was saying
ridiculous.
It's really expensive to buy the coolant if you have to change it in an old fridge. But I was thinking, but if the fridge lasts.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. Okay, where are we at? How is Jack? Jack is doing well. Our most amazing son, Jack. He must have said that in a video. Cindy, lasagna costs $30 for a double Dutch. Yeah, I haven't made lasagna in years. Wanda, any idea on how to ease up on your body? Snap, crackle, pop? No. Let me know if you figure it out, because I haven't figured that one out yet. Sandy, we had a power outage and my fridge would not come back on. I couldn't find parts for it. Yeah, I know.
I wonder if these are any good.
Oh. Shell says no money in making appliances that last. Yep.
Somebody said something about a Sub-Zero fridge, and judging by the price, they better be good. They're like $15,000. Wow.
I haven't even paid that much for a car. I guess the newest one.
You just said you would spend.
I'm just saying I haven't spent that much on a car. It's ridiculous. Donna, if they make old style refrigerators energy efficient, that is what I will get when our fridge gives up the ghost. Yep. Gwen, my Kenmore fridge is almost 33 years old. We've never had a problem with it. Yeah, the old Kenmores. But at our old house, we had all new Kenmore appliances. They were all dead within just a few years too.
Well, and Pistol, our repair guy, said that the energy efficient rules and a lot of that stuff are a lot of the reason why they fail so much. So I would keep that in mind on the energy efficient thing. Yeah.
All right, guys, our Mother's Day sale is happening right now. 50% off our book sets, 40% off our individual books, and our price book right here. This is how you save money. It's going on until Monday. So grab it. Twice a year this happens.
We made it Monday so that for those who wanted it for Mother's Day and
didn't get it,
somebody forgot, there'll still be one more day to get it.
Yeah. All right, guys, please visit us livingonadime.com. We will see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Bye.